Hey guys, my name is Austin with Mighty Machinery here in Mount Pleasant, Utah. I've been getting a lot of questions about Huayee's latest dealer line, the SHY series. This one here is an SHY20, and a lot of people are asking me, what's the difference between the SHY20s and Rippa's R18 Pro? There's a lot of different sizes coming, but for today, we're just gonna focus on these two machines. All right, we'll start at the front here at the buckets and we'll work our way back. So something that I like about the R18 is that it does have real solid teeth and thick metal, and it's also a little bit bigger at 16 inches roughly, compared to the SHY20 has teeth like you'd expect from a 1-ton machine with replaceable bolt-on type teeth, which there are pros and cons to that. They are going to be cheaper and easier to replace, but you are going to break them more often. Also, the bucket's a little bit smaller. It's still a 3/8 inch plate is what it looks like. This machine is going to come standard with a manual quick connect hitch, but as of now they don't have it installed, so to change buckets we just have to take the pins out and swap it manually, compared to the R18 that comes with either a mechanical or a hydraulic quick hitch, depending on which one you want. One thing I don't like about the SHY20 is the hydraulic quick hitch is not an option. It's only going to be a manual quick connect. And the thumb on this is nice and thick. It's got a reinforcement plate here. One thing that I think is a little different is how the thumb's operated on the SHY20. It does have two separate controls to operate the thumb. Has one single foot pedal that goes forward to extend and retract the thumb, and you press a secondary button on the left pilot control as well as your foot. The hydraulic thumb on the R18 is also very beefy, similar to the SHY20. Welded plate here in the center, which kind of gets in the way of some rocks, but seems to do a pretty good job. Has a standard left and right foot pedal control on that to either extend or retract it. So this also does have very thick, beefy cylinders on it. Compared to the R18, they are a little bit bigger cylinder, a little bit more hydraulic force there, but they're not protected. They don't have a cover plate like the R18 does. That's something else that I am just okay with. So on these cylinders too, Huayee has welded a little protector here and put standard zerts on pretty much every fitting. I don't think this machine has any of the needle zert fittings like the R18 has, which a lot of people will like. So on the SHY20, the boom here is quite a bit thicker than the R18. It's also not quite as long. You're gonna have a little bit more digging depth with the R18, closer to about 8 feet compared to 7.5 feet on the SHY20. All right, and as far as the blade goes on this machine, it's boxed, it's heavy duty, thick metal. Compared to the R18, it is a little more difficult to expand it, and this piece actually comes out instead of swivels, which isn't a big deal. The nice thing is you could take it all the way off if you don't need it, compared to the R18 where it kind of just swings back. It also doubles as a nice tie down point if you're chaining it onto a trailer or anything like that. So the extended blade width on the SHY20 is going to be 47.25, and the folded retracted width is going to be 37.25 roughly. So what this does is the blade it has a full expanded width of 51.5 inches. And also those expandable blades fold in easily to bring you down to a measured width of 39.25. The SHY20 does have expanding nice tracks. They're a little bit thicker, 9-inch track here. The fully extended width on the SHY20 is 49 inches compared to the Rippa's 50.5 inches. Similar to the Rippa R18, the battery cutoff they chose to put up here in the front, it's not as annoying as being right here, but it's still kind of in a weird spot where it can interfere with your feet and being kicked to get in. There's a little bit less foot space here on the SHY20. I wear a size 9 shoe and it's pretty tight for me So anyone bigger than that could potentially run into problems here. Similar to the R18, we do have the flip up cover here and the pedal control for the swing boom. A little bit stiffer than on the R18. It's still not bad. That'll swing the boom left and right. Foot pedals attached to the tracking levers there. And then this is the thumb control. So it's a little different. You push it forward to open the thumb, and then you press the pilot control button and push down here again to close the thumb. So the blade lever control is here on your left side, forwards and backwards, similar to most other Chinese machines with expanding tracks. We have a button here that will allow this lever to then control the expanding tracks. It doesn't have a smart display, which isn't a big deal for me. It has a nice clear display here with temperature, any warning lights, hours, and fuel display, which is much easier to read than on the R18. Yep, so another difference here on the SHY20, it does not have locking pilot controls here, so they're fixed. Makes it a little awkward to try to get in and out of the machine. You kind of will hit that control as you're getting in and out. And as I mentioned, you know, it's kind of tight in here. It's not bad for someone my size, but if you're a little bigger, may end up having a problem. All right, so the ignition switch is the same as the R18. You hold it left to heat the glow plugs and right to start. It has a single boom light. This now is our lock and unlock for the hydraulics instead of the lever. This is your button for the expanding tracks to operate on the left side, the blade control, so you choose whether you're operating the blade or the tracks. It also does have dual speed motors similar to the R18, a true 2-speed motor, so there's a high and a low, and then your throttle lever is on the side here. On the right side, we've got our hydraulic oil level indicator there, so it's a little bit easier to see, a little larger than the R18. You do have to be a little more careful with this one because the hydraulic oil and diesel oil caps are right by each other. They're labeled well, the caps are different, but still there's more of a risk of putting your hydraulic oil or your diesel fuel in the hydraulics. So as compared to the R18, this has a single piece cast counterweight instead of the additional one that's on the R18. It does still have our covered drive motors, they're protected, and the hydraulic hoses are mounted out of the way so that they're not going to get caught. Inside of the rear hatch here is the Kubota D902, same engine. It does have a nice soundproofing on the door here. I also think that it's quite a bit more accessible compared to the R18. Your oil filter is right here, the oil dipstick's right here, so your starter, same fuel filter, air filter, water separator, but everything is just more accessible and I think much better planned out. It also does have a full alternator instead of the little generators that are on a lot of them, so that's going to be a little more reliable and be able to run more power for you as well. Now that you've had a chance to see the Huayee SHY20 and the Rippa R18 Pro side by side and a few of those features, I'm interested to know which machine you would choose and why. Drop a comment below. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.